Okay, so the project we're going to be working on today, Sunday, I'm in the shop, figure I might as well do this for this week. What we're going to be working on is setting up a breaker panel, transfer switch, and a backboard to get it ready for a customer's house this week. I already went and looked at it. It's an old fuse panel. We're going to change it. They want to put a plug outside for the generator to plug into, and we're going to have a manual transfer switch inside to switch from utility power to generator power. I am going to upgrade this transfer panel to put in indicator light or lights so that when the street power comes back on, the customer will know about it. He can just look at the panel, see the LED lights that are on, and know the street power is back on, and he's able to switch over. Because he lives on kind of a desolate road where you can't really see your neighbor too good, and there's no street lights to tell you the power's back on. So here's what we got for this project here. You can see the backboard, right? You can see the backboard. I did a 4x4 3/4 plywood, black enamel, oil based. We have a square D 100 amp 24 circuit panel with the push on neutrals. So if you ever have to put arc faults or GFIs on, you can use their push on breakers for that. We have a Reliant. I have no problem getting to he's an older gentleman in his 80s, so he won't have a problem to get to it to switch it. And like I said, on the cover somewhere on this cover, probably in this area here, I'll have LEDs and labels, and I'll clearly mark with larger lettering the generator supply and the utility supply. And you can see how this works is you have a bus bar just like you would on a regular panel. Your feeds will come in on the outside, opposite of what you would normally do. So your feeds will come in here. When this is in the position, it'll feed these two. When it's in the off position, it's dead. When this is in the on position, then it livens these up with utility power. So what I'll probably end up doing is using power off of the load side to feed the lights. And so the lights are on all the time when the utility power is on, only when the generator is running and the utility power is off. What I'll probably do is install a relay so that when the generator is running, that powers up the relay, powers up the lights, and the relay will then be activated by the utility side, or vice versa. I'll figure that out. But I'll just use an RIB relay in a box, a couple LEDs, 120 amp LED little indicator lights, and that'll be fine. We'll be all set. So I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna get this thing all mounted. I'll show you how I do it, what I'm gonna do, and then you'll see the finished product. So that's it, and here we go. Okay, so here's the finished product for now. We got our GFI breakers, a few breakers in there for now. Our primaries coming in. We go down to our lugs there. These will go to the feed coming in. These will go to the generator. Typically I'll put the generator feed on now, but because it's a little further away from the panel, I'm not going to waste the time. So that's that. And now I'll just put the covers on. Put the covers on and I'll show you what it's going to look like. The board's a little bigger because it'll fit in the space. And if you ever future upgrades, there's plenty of room for a 200 amp panel and transfer switch. So we'll put the covers on. So there's the finished up board, ready to go to the house and get put in. Like I said, I'm going to put something. I'm either going to put a voltmeter that comes on when the city power comes on, or I'll have indicator light, so when the city power comes on, he knows it. But so the next video will be this being installed, this getting installed, and the final product. So that's that for today.